Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will discuss the additional exercise on the chapter 1 recording on the solve the limit of a function by using numerical method. So for example, we have a problems like question number 1a, which is limit x approaches to 0 for a function x divided by x minus 4. When we talk about solving using numerical method, we must choose at least 3 number from the left of value of x. In this case, x equal to 0. So we must choose at least 3 number from the left and then 3 number from the right. Make sure value from the left must be equal to from the right, because the definitions of the limits, which is limits only exist when x approaches to 0 from the left for function fx, must be equal to limits x approaches to 0 from the left for function fx. So this case is 0. So solution for question A, we can choose at least 3 number from the left. So for example, for this one, we write a table here, which is here is 0, and then 1 number, 2 number, and then the last one is 3 number, 1 number, 2 number, and then 3 number. So let's say we choose negative 0.01, this one from the left, negative 0.001, and then the last one is negative 0.0001. Make sure the value that you choose must be approximate to the 0. And then 1 number, 3 number from the right, which is this one, 0.0001, 0.001, and then 0.01. When we substitute this value of x, okay, when we substitute this value of x in the function limit x approaches to 0, means that you substitute at x value, which is negative 0.01 divided by negative 0.01 minus 4. So when we solve this value, we can get 0.0025. Okay, also a same thing when we substitute negative 0.0001, we can get 0.00025. And then the last one, when we substitute negative 0.0001 for this one, we can get 0.00025. Okay, so this one is a value after you substitute in the x divided by x minus 4. And then also same thing for the right hand side, when we substitute the value of 0.0001, we can get negative 0.00025. Also a same thing for this one, we can get negative 0.0025. Sorry, the other one 0 here, 0.025. And then the last one, when we substitute 0.01, we can get negative 0.0025. Okay, by looking this part, okay, make sure we must look on this value because it is approaches to 0 from the left and approaches to 0 from the right. We can see that if x approaches to 0, and then we can get a very small value, whether it is positive or negative. So when we look on this result, we can conclude that limit x approaches to 0 for function x divided by x minus 4 is equal to 0, since when x approaches to the left is close to 0, and then x approaches from right also close to 0, even though this value is negative. But when it approaches to 0, doesn't matter whether it is positive or negative. Okay, so that is the answer for question 1a, which is we get 0. Now looks on the question 1b, also a same thing, limit theta approaches to 0 for function sine pi theta divided by theta. So we can choose at least 3 number from the left and 3 number from the right. Also a same thing, approaches to 0 here because this one theta approaches to 0. So we can choose one number. Okay, for example here I choose negative pi over 8, negative pi over 10, and then negative pi over 15. And then from the left hand side, I choose a pi over 15, pi over 10, and pi over 8. And then this one is value of theta, and then substitute in the function sine pi theta divided by theta. Make sure when you want to press a calculator, your calculator must be in terms of radians, because we use the value of radian, not degree. Make sure you set your calculator on the right mode. Okay, when we set theta equal to pi over negative pi over 8, we can get 2.403, and then when we substitute negative pi over 10, we can get 2.656, and then the last one, negative pi over 15, we can get 3.121. Also a same thing from the left, from the right, we can get here 3.121, and then 3.016, and then sorry, this one is 2.656, and then here is 2.403. From this table, we can see that as theta approaches to 0, is a value you get is close to 3.121, and then this one also a same thing from the right, 3.121. And then if you choose another value that smallest approaches to 0, for example negative pi over 100, and then right hand side pi over 100, we can see that this value is approaches to value of pi, which is 3.142. So from this result, we can conclude that limit theta approaches to 0 for a function sine pi theta divided by theta, we can get 3.142. 1 for 2 or approaches to pi, which is from left hand side equal to from right hand side. That one is the answer for question 1B. And then last one, 1C, limit theta approaches to 0 for function 2 minus cos 3 theta divided by 4 theta. Also same thing, we choose at least 3 number from the left and then 3 number from the right, which is the middle one is 0, because this one is theta approaches to 0, and then this one is a value 2 minus cos 3 theta divided by 4 theta. We can choose 3 number here from the left and then 3 number from the right. For example, negative pi over 15, negative pi over 20, and then negative pi over 10. Also same thing from the right, pi over 50, pi over 20, and then pi over 10. When we substitute negative pi over 10 in the function 2 minus cos 3 theta divided by 4 theta, we can get here negative 1.1238. And then if we substitute negative pi over 20, we can get negative 1.765. And the last one, if we substitute negative pi over 50, we can get negative 4.049. Also same thing from the right, we can get here 4.049 and then 1.765 when we substitute pi over 20, and then when we substitute pi over 10, we can get 1.1238. And once again, when you substitute the value of theta, make sure your calculator must be in terms of radian mode. Okay, it is not degree, must be in terms of radian. So we can see that from this table, numerically mentioned that from the left you can get negative 4.049, and then from the right 4.049. We can see that limit theta approaches to 0 for function fx, this one from the left is not equal to limit theta approaches to 0 from right for function fx. Therefore, we can conclude that limit theta approaches to 0 for function 2 minus cos 3 theta divided by 4 theta is equal to does not exist. Okay, so your answer for 1C is does not exist, since from the left is not equal to from the right. We can see that from left is negative, from right is positive. Therefore, limit does not exist. So that is the answer for question number 1. If we want to solve the limit by using numerical method, if a question mentioned using numerical method, so you need to draw a table and choose at least 3 number from the left and 3 number from the right. Make sure that number you want to choose must be approximate to the value of x. For this case, value of x, this case a value of theta. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.